So I just want to have a quick session. I'll do a review of my recently published books, um, a review of these books, and then I want to answer some questions, maybe about the book, questions about career, business. Um, for those that are joining the show, I'm into business training, consulting, coaching, and all that you can think of. So if you have questions in that area, I may ask a couple of. You can ask the questions, and I will happily respond to them. Okay. So I'm going to start with the review of this book, the Business Idea Handbook. This is the title, The Business Idea Handbook. And this book, before this book went out on print, on the print version, I did the launch of this book in the e-copy format, and more than 1,000 people got copies of this particular book. More than 1,000 people bought this book pre-launch ebook version before the paperback version was released. And the feedback I have had from this book has been incredible. This is a perfect book for anybody who desires to start a business, and you may actually have some difficulties of which perfect business idea to start with. You don't know which idea to invest in and all of that. So the book can enable you, help you to uncover business ideas from around you, business ideas from your career, from your skills, from your community, just from around you, because everywhere actually you can always create a business. And if you have the right knowledge and the right skills and the right tools, you can be able to create an amazing business from your house as a side business. If you are working, you can start a side business that will not take a lot of your time, and you can be able to make some money from it, and of course provide some services to the society. So the Business Idea Handbook is just designed and structured to provide you that platform or that material that can walk you through to discover business ideas, and of course how to make money from these business ideas. Yeah, so if you go through this book, you see different things, and towards the end I added a sample standard business plan. You look towards the last pages, you see a standard business plan that you can follow and be able to write a good business plan for your idea. Another thing that you see in the book is a sample startup cost. When you want to start a business, being able to effectively have a good startup structure, it makes it easier for you to start the business. So in this book, the Business Idea Handbook, there is no way you can go through this book and not have a profitable business idea to start. I am not just saying this because it's my book. As I said earlier, before launching this book in the print format, I launched this book in the ebook format, and more than 1,000 people ordered the copy for the ebook version, the soft copy version of the book, and I received incredible feedback of people who were able to discover business ideas around them, and they were able to follow the processes in the book and start their businesses either from their houses, or a side business, or even a full-time business for people who were unemployed or were not doing anything and wanted to start something with little or no capital per se. So if you are looking at starting a business, or you already have a business and you want to start a second one and you don't know which idea to look at, this particular book can actually help you to uncover profitable business ideas and how to start them. All right, so this is the first book that I've reviewed so far, and if you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat box. Questions for me, you can ask them in the chat box, and you can also ask any question about business, career, the economy, and all of that, and I will happily share my thoughts with you and perspective. And if you want to join the call, you can request, I can add you and you join the call, and you can chit chat, you can ask me questions live, you can contribute if you want, and let's just have some fun together, some time together. You're welcome, everybody. Those who are joining, you're welcome. Please, can you kindly share the show and invite people to be part of it? I hardly go live. I think maybe since the last 1 year, I think this like the first or the second time that I'm going live, so it's rare. All right, any questions about this first book that I have given the idea, the concept behind it, and a brief summary and the impact that the book can create for you? Any questions about this? Any questions about business idea? Any questions about starting your business and all of that? I can react to it before we move to the next book. So I'll be reviewing all my 6 books. So I put together all my work in the last couple of years, and I was able to launch 6 books at once on the same day. And you can get these books on Amazon. People have been ordering these books from the UK, from USA, from the Middle East, here and there. All right, good. So we are done with this book, the Business Idea Handbook. Get a copy, and I bet you are going to have a great time going through this particular book. All right. Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Good to have you too. Thank you for joining. And of course, please, you can share and you can ask me a question. The next book that I want to review is basically my biggest book so far. This book is 276 pages. You see, very big, very large book. Right? 40 business models and examples. 40 business models and examples. You know, in the last 18 years that I've been into consulting and coaching, and I have traveled 20 countries plus to speak to company leaders, entrepreneurs, provide consulting and coaching. And I've helped so many CEOs across different countries to create profitable business models, to create profitable structures that can enable them to be sustainable, to be profitable, and to grow in a way that they can see long-term success, right? Talking about growing and being in business for more than 10 years, 20 years, 50 years is very important. And having an idea is good, but having a profitable idea tends to be a very difficult thing for people to do. And that is why I decided to write this book. I sat down and I decided to document the various business models that you can go through, and you can basically copy and paste, right? These are practical ways that different companies make money around the world. Sometimes, you know, it's easier to run a profitable business if you are able to see somebody doing something similar, and you can just improve or innovate and you can make more money, right? So if you go through this book, you will see that you learn the different ways that thousands of companies across the world actually make money in a sustainable way. So you see the various business models, their various business structures, the various core elements that make their business amazing, and you can look at them, study them, see where you're missing out, and you can be able to adapt to it, and of course make some more money for your business. You also see different business ideas. That means I will indicate a business concept, and I'll indicate a step-by-step process that a business in this area can go through from start to end and be able to start making money from their clients. So this is what this book is all about, the 40 plus business models and examples. You will learn practical ways different businesses make money across the world. Practical ways different businesses make money across the world. So you can go through this, and trust me, you will definitely learn a lot, and of course challenge you. And if you're passionate about business coaching, you're passionate about business consulting and training, this is a book that you can get. You know, some people may have passion for business coaching and training, and they may not have the experience to actually, you know, the practical knowledge and the experience, if I may say so, to really operate from that dimension. You know, for me, I had the privilege that I started reading business right from secondary school. I did what they call in Cameroon commercial education. So I started reading commerce and finance, economics, accounting, business maths from Form 1, right up to I did my doctorate degree in business. I did my first degree in business. I did my MBA, still business, right? Did my doctorate degree in business. So apart from running my own business and providing consulting and coaching and training in business, I understand the theoretical part, you know, of the business, the schooling part of business, right? So if you are people that have passion for business, passion for business training and consulting and coaching, and you may not have this base where you understand the basic fundamentals and structures that can create a good sustainable business, then this is a good book that you can get. 40 business models and examples, and learn the practical ways that different businesses make money across the world. So this is the second book I'm reviewing out of my 6 books that I launched a few weeks ago at the same time. And these books, you can get them on Amazon. You can just go on Amazon and type Javnyuy Joybert. Thank you to everyone who have ordered the books from Canada, to the US, to the UK, to the Middle East. Yeah, we have had people sending me selfies of the books from these different countries and so on. Thank you so much, and I'm waiting for more feedback to see the impact of the book in whatever you are doing and building for yourself. Hello everybody, those who are joining now, you're welcome. Good to have you all here. I'm just having a chit chat and answering questions and reviewing my recently published books. So if you have questions, you can ask me questions around maybe, I don't know, career issues, business issues, the economy, here and there. You can shoot me a question and I will share my point of view, my perspective, and hopefully it can help you or challenge you or just add some stuff to what you already know. Hey, there's a question here. What do you have to say to Cameroonian youths that want to start a business but face the problem of tax and capital? Now, the issue of tax always come up a lot, and I would like to say that my first experience when it comes to the tax issues in Cameroon is that majority of business owners in Cameroon have very little knowledge about tax in Cameroon. Very little knowledge. I know many people that complain about tax in Cameroon because they have heard other people complain about. Like if you ask business people, what type of tax are you supposed to pay, or under which tax regime did you register your business, many of them will not tell you. I'm into business consulting full-time in Cameroon, so I know what I'm telling you. It's possible that if you put 10 business owners in Cameroon, possibly 9, if not all, will not actually give you concrete information about tax. And that is what makes the tax sector in Cameroon to be one of the most corrupt sectors. You understand why? Because the tax officers know. They know that business owners in Cameroon have little knowledge about taxes. So a tax officer will come and stand and look at their business from the outside and just tell you, oh, looking at the things that you have in your business, this is how much you're going to pay for taxes. I am not saying what I have heard. I'm saying what I have seen them do. I'm saying what tax officers I walk to my office and they look at the office and say, oh, based on the things we see here, this is how much you're supposed to pay as taxes, which is wrong. That's not how you calculate taxes. You see, that's not how you calculate taxes. You're supposed to pay taxes from your profit and loss statement. So you cannot come and just look at somebody's business and assume how much they're supposed to pay, right? So the first step is you need to know exactly the taxes are supposed to pay, know the tax law, read the tax law, buy the tax law. It's even free. Go online, download it, read, study, know your tax regime, know the kind of taxes you're supposed to pay as a business, and know some basic financial structures. You understand? Because there are many business owners paying more taxes than they are supposed to pay, because they are even trying. Some don't even know how to pay taxes on their own, because this thing has also been digitalized online, right? So a lot of these things cause a lot of problems. Let me start from there, right? So because trust me, if you are not making money, you're not profitable, you're not supposed to pay some taxes per se. So before complaining, because there are many people who raise issues about tax or not ask them, so tell me, based on the kind of business you run, what kind of taxes are you supposed to pay? They'll be looking at you like that. They have no information, right? So the problem of taxes is, and let me tell you something that is an unpopular opinion. If you look at the tax in Cameroon and look at tax in other countries, Cameroon has very good tax structure, trust me. Other countries pay way more, right? I've been able to provide coaching and consulting in 20 countries, so I know what I'm talking about, right? So one thing I can say is that the tax system in Cameroon gets to be heavy. I'm not saying we have the best, of course, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying we have the best, but I'm saying that we as business owners, we need to have the right information first. The high corruption in the tax sector is so high because the business owners are ignorant about the tax structure. So the tax officers pry on that and they request money from you and do stuff that you don't even deserve at all, right? Then from there, if you are making money, you don't get to complain about taxes too much, right? If you know how to make money, your business is profitable, you're making sales. So if you're good at marketing, you're good at sales, you're good at customer acquisition, you're making a lot of money, trust me, you're not going to feel a lot when you're paying taxes, right? I know guys are making money and they're going to pay taxes in millions and they don't complain about it because they are making more money, right? Good. But of course, as small business owners, we'll keep on advocating for better tax structure, because the more small businesses have good tax regime or structures, the more they can become profitable. Okay. Then for capital, getting capital in business can be a bit tricky. It can be easy and it can be hard. That's the truth. When it comes to getting capital in business, it can be very easy and it can be very hard. Now, what makes it hard? Many people move around trying to look for capital with an idea. Nobody likes to invest in an idea. Ideas are very risky. It is easier for you to raise capital when you have started something than for you to raise capital with an idea that you just have in your mind, and even with a poor business plan. You get the concept? There's a lot of money out there. There are venture capitalists, angel investors, there are Cameroonians, the diaspora, and other Africans. The diaspora want to invest back at home and they want to partner with startup entrepreneurs, but many people are not structured. Personally, for me, there are many Cameroonians who come to me and say, hey, Cameroonians in Europe, in the Middle East, in America, and they're looking for startups to invest in. But majority of startups are not fundable, are not structured enough that somebody can invest in. Let's not even go far. I know of family members that will send their younger ones to go to them, oh, I want to start a business. And they'll say, okay, go to meet Joybert. If Joybert can validate that you are funding ready, I'll give you the money. And when they come to me, I'll work with them, give them an assignment. Okay, go write a business plan, go do this, go structure this, go do this, and bring to me. And they will just go and disappear and never come back. You get the point? So capital is not just about saying, give me money. No, you need to be worthy of the capital. There are angel investors, there are venture capitalists, there are individuals, there are institutions. But many people who talk about capital are not funding ready. They are not capital ready. But let me tell you, the fastest way to raise capital is for you to bring a track record. If two people are in front of me and one says, oh, I have this idea and I've been thinking of starting and I need money to start. Another one says, oh, there's this idea that I started small. It's not making money yet, but I started 6 months ago. These are my results. This is my research. This is what I've discovered. 10 people have bought the product, etc. I will invest in the guy who have started small. Right? So it is important that if you are looking for capital, it is easier for you to raise capital even from your friends and family members and people in the diaspora or investors and all of that, when you are talking with a track record, with proof of concept that you have started it, you have been able to do this and this and this, it convinced them enough to know that you are in business. Okay, so it is very important. On a personal note, I've not seen anybody who is capital ready who has not been able to raise money. I've worked with a lot of people who have raised capital from people in the diaspora, from investors and all of that. If you have a good idea, no matter how small it is, but if you can prove that you are worthy to be invested in, people are going to give you money. Let me tell you, there is a lot of money out there, but there are there's a very small number of entrepreneurs who are investment ready. Trust me. So you need to be on that part. And one thing about capital is position yourself where people who have money can find you. There are many people who move around saying capital, capital. Meanwhile, you are not following, or you don't go to entrepreneurship events. It's easier for you to find an investor in a business conference. It's easier for you to find an investor in an entrepreneurship summit. It's easier for you to find an investor in the comment section of entrepreneurs. I know people who have discovered investors under my comment section. I do post about business here and there, and then someone says, oh, Joybert, I saw this guy comment about this. Do you know him? And I'll say, I'll go check out the person. He seems like a nice guy. And the discussion pick up from there, and they're able to connect. So positioning is important. And let me end by saying this. If you are serious about looking for capital, please be on LinkedIn. Be on LinkedIn and Twitter. It is easier for you to get an investor on LinkedIn and Twitter than on Facebook. On Facebook, you can easily get people who are friends, family members, or relatives, or, who can bet them. On LinkedIn and Twitter, it's very possible to get an abstract person, just get interest in what you're doing, and you can start a discussion from there, and they can invest in you, right? And let me end again by saying this. You need external capital to scale a business, not to start a business. It's very dangerous for you to be looking for a loan or for investment to start an idea. What if that idea is not profitable? You will have a failed idea, and you'll be thinking of how to pay back the person that you borrowed the money from. You need external capital to grow what you have started, not to start an idea. So if you are serious that you are an entrepreneur, you should be more serious to raise money to start that idea, no matter how small. And you must not start an idea completely. You can start an idea in a small scale. You have the whole vision documented, but you can start small. Let's say, for example, let's say that you want to start a secondary school. You don't have all the millions to build a structure, to build a campus and all of that. But you can start an evening school. You can start a small school in your house. You can rent a one room in your building and do a few chairs and tables and start from there. It may not look like a secondary school now, but the vision is a secondary school. When you start from there, if you are pitching to me now, you're not telling me, oh, so I have this idea of starting this innovative secondary school. This is the structure, this is my consumer, all of that. But I have started small. At the moment, I have 5 students who come for evening classes in my room or in a one room that I rented. Now, that is an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur finds a way and move forward, and help will meet you on the way. If you're that kind of person that you have an idea and you're just waiting for the day capital will come and meet you, you have not caught the concept of entrepreneurship completely. You get the concept? All right. Thank you for the question, Ibrahim, and I hope that I did create some time to answer. How can someone start and grow a brand? That's a very good question. Mr. Teddy, you're in the US, right? Order this book from Amazon. Or I cannot answer your question now like this in this live session. But there's this book I said, Building, Managing, and Monetizing Attention. Building, Managing, and Monetizing Attention. If you buy this book, and I've got this book, I have put together a step-by-step process of what you can do to build your brand. And branding is attention. You understand? Branding is attention per se. Branding is perception, attraction, influence. All of this in your industry, right? But the first thing about starting and growing a brand is for you to identify the industry where you want to be known as a brand in. There are many people who are struggling to build a brand, but they don't know whether they want to build a brand around which industry. I have a brand, but my brand is related to a particular industry, right? So you must identify, you want to build a brand in which industry. You cannot have a brand everywhere. You want to have a brand in entertainment, in healthcare, in education, in agriculture, whatever. Identify that. Then the next important thing about that is you need to position yourself as an expert. Expertise and competence is a core fundamental in building a brand in that industry, because people follow value. For you to get influence, you need to be valuable in your industry. Okay? And then the last thing I'll talk about is consistency. You don't build a brand in a year, right? It takes time. The brand I had, the strong influence and brand I have now in the work I do, it's taken me years and years of building. There are some things that I don't struggle to get, and because of the brand that I've taken time to build, right? And that's one thing a brand can do for you. When you already have a brand, it naturally attracts certain things to you. So sometimes it can take you 5 years to build a solid brand. Please, a brand is beyond social media following, because people can buy likes, people can buy followers. A brand is influence. Influence. Who can you influence? Which institutions can you influence? Which individuals can you influence? Can you talk and people listen to you and value your perspective? That's what branding is all about. It's beyond likes and followers. You get the concept? Yeah, so it takes consistency. There are some people that they can take a year to trust you, because one thing that will lead to you having a strong brand in the mind of people is they trust you and they value what you bring to the table. All right? To get the full concept on that, get this book, Building, Managing, and Monetizing Your Attention or Your Brand, right? Because a good brand should make you money. That's what I believe. A good brand should do two things: influence and should make you money if you want. All right? Good. So this book can help you. You can order the book on Amazon, Building, Managing, and Monetizing Attention. So let me review this book. This is the third book I'm reviewing so far. Please drop your questions. So I'm answering questions and reviewing my recently published books on Amazon. So again, as I was saying, Building, Managing, and Monetizing Attention is a book that I put together, my structure, strategy, and framework that I've used over the years to build, manage, and monetize my attention, right? Both online and physically. When you do that, it's going to help you a lot, because attention now is a currency. Attention is a currency, right? The more attention you have, the more people you can influence. The more attention you have, the more money you can make, especially if you are in business, right? Good. For those who are football fans, they can tell you one of the major reasons that Ronaldo was paid so much to go to Saudi Arabia was because of the attention that he has when it concerns football, right? And it has taken him time to build that attention. All right? Good. So that is it. I've spoken about how many books? I've reviewed 3 books so far. Three are left to go for me to talk about. Good. Let me check if there are questions in the comment section. Good evening, Isidore. Good to have you here. Good evening, Tukov, Forven. Good evening, Larissa. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening, Mr. John Eta Star Daddy. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good, 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 good. No questions? I'm seeing a lot of people. Questions? Please shoot me questions. Who want to join in? Want to join the call? Let me know and I'll bring you on the call. You can join the call live, ask me a question, share some perspective, and let's discuss. Skyrocket your profits. Skyrocket your profits. This is the next book that I want to talk about. Skyrocketing your profits. Start that they want to jump on the video. So skyrocket your profits. I always say something funny, right? I always say something funny. No matter how talented you are, if nobody knows that you exist, you will die a talented poor man. You can see, if you are skillful, if you are competent, if you are be the talker of your industry, right? If you don't master how to make people know what you can bring to the table, you'll be a very talented, skillful, poor person. There's nothing about that, right? And I can even say this book on building and managing attention and making money from your attention is like a twin brother to this book, Skyrocket Your Profit, right? So this book on skyrocketing your profit, as I said earlier, over the years, I have done incredible work, massive work with companies in 20 countries. Like I've traveled physically to 20 countries to provide coaching, and I've provided advice and consulting to companies in 37 countries online, that through Zoom sessions, private sessions, and all of that, right? And in these areas, I have developed marketing strategies and sales systems for these institutions. Sometimes I've just provide advisory, facilitate their sales team to guide them. Oh, this right, let's test this and see, and all of that, right? So this book has 30 marketing and sales strategies that can boost your sales. Like if you open this book, you go through, you see a step-by-step marketing strategy, step-by-step sales strategy that you can just pick and go implement. You don't need to crack your head, right? I've done the strategies. Your job is to copy the strategies and paste, right? That's the purpose of this book. So if you are that kind of a business person that you struggle with marketing and sales, you don't know how to market and all of that, then this book becomes like your marketing Bible for you, right? This becomes your marketing Bible that you can get, and you'll be able to do that. So it has a step-by-step implementation guide. A step-by-step implementation guide on how to do marketing and sales. Again, the book is on Amazon. All right, this one is done. Let me see. There are some questions here. Oh, Starter is asking, how do we structure our businesses to attract investors? I will talk about the basics, and the most important basic is your financial structure. Let me tell you, investors think only money. Investors think the money I'm going to give you and the money I will take. And the only way that they can bring their thoughts into perspective is your financial structure. So if you are running a business, you need to make sure that you have a good financial structure, financial documentation of your business. You can have monthly income and expenditure statements, monthly cash book, monthly profit and loss account, balance sheet. Make sure that you are documenting all your sales, you are documenting all your expenses. All of this very important. If your internal structure is not right, you're going to struggle to attract investors, right? When you have your internal structures right, you can start also thinking of your policies, right? For example, how do you manage employees? Have your staff handbook, have your disciplinary structures. What all of those things that make up a structured institution, you need to have them. When you do that, the next most important thing, which I spoke about, was learn how to position yourself where investors can find you, or where you can find investors. Like I always say, if you are looking for investors, start attending business events, business conferences, online and offline. If you go right now on LinkedIn and go under events, you see a lot of investor-led events or business events that you can attend. And in those events, you will see investors looking for good ideas to invest in. This happens, right? But we need to be there. We need to be there. And let me tell you something about investors. You can talk with an investor, and it can take them 6 months to 1 year to finally give you money. Do you know why? They may take their time to do due diligence. They may take their time to observe you. They may take their time to make sure that you mean business as an entrepreneur. Okay? So the structuring is very important. Don't joke with everything. Make sure you have a whole document stuff. Structure is all about documentation. Structure is about doing things according to the ethics of your industry. When you do that, it helps you a lot. Okay? Good. There's a next question from Ibrahim. It says, with respect to the situation in Cameroon now, please, what types of business can you advise young Cameroonians to venture into? All types of business. You'll be surprised, right? Any business can make you money. You understand? Any business can. There's no that, oh, don't understand. Any business can make you money. It takes more than an idea to make money from a business venture. It takes the town. When you say Cameroon, Which town in Cameroon? Right? It takes you, the person. What kind of mindset do you have? What kind of skill set do you have? What kind of experience do you have? What amount of money do you have? So it takes a lot of things. So I cannot just go and say, okay, do this, and do this. No, I will just be doing assumptions, right? But again, I always say that don't just assume that because somebody failed in a business, you're also going to fail. No, there are many reasons why people fail in a business. It is the same like you can start a business and fail in that business. Meanwhile, there are people making millions from that same business. There is no sector that people are not making millions from around the world, including Cameroon. There's no sector. So there's no bad idea and there's no good idea. There are only good entrepreneurs. You understand? No matter how terrible, even in Iraq, people are still running businesses. You get the concept? So it plays a lot on you, the person, and a lot of stuff. So I cannot start saying that, oh, go and invest in real estate, go and invest in agriculture, go and invest in IT, go and invest in education, healthcare, go and invest. All of these businesses, every industry can turn you into a successful millionaire and a business person. Okay? So you need to go apart from just the idea. That's why this book, if you go through this book, the Business Idea Handbook, the first book I reviewed, I have spoken about these things in detail. What you should be looking at, the kind of things that you should look beyond just the business idea, how to look at yourself, how to look at your skill set, your resources, your structure, the economy, and all of that. Then you can do. But for now, what I can tell you is all sectors in Cameroon can make you money. You doubt me? Go and review any sector in Cameroon. You see a millionaire in that sector. So how are they making it? Buy and sell, they are millionaires in buy and sell. Real estate, they are millionaires. People that run hospitals and health clinics, they are millionaires in that sector. Agriculture, there are millionaires. You look basically any sector, you're going to see the millionaires in those sectors. You get the point? So there is nothing like in Cameroon, this is a bad business and this is a good business and all of that. No. The main thing is the person first and where the person wants to run the business. Then from there, we can start now streamlining it. Okay, based on your personality, based on your experience, based on your skill set, based on what you studied, based on your kind of attitude, based on the town, based on whatever is happening. Okay, out of all of these ideas, this is the best idea for you as the person. That's why I don't have the same consulting model for my client when it comes to starting a business. People are different. I have a structure that I can follow to be able to do, but at the end, I make sure that I tap into the unique intelligence of each client and enable them start and grow a very good business. Good? Awesome. What are the marketing strategies to use in a real estate business? Come and pay for consulting fee. And I want to say this, you see, real estate has a beautiful future in Cameroon. The real estate sector in Cameroon has not entered even the, how do they call it? You know, if you know the product life cycle, there's the introduction, the growth, maturity, saturation, decline, right? For those who know the business life cycle, right? The real estate sector in Cameroon has not even entered the introductory stage. Trust me. Right? If you want to start by just comparing real estate in Cameroon and other countries, not just go for our brothers in Nigeria. If you go to Lagos, you go to Lekki, you go to Victoria Islands, or if you go to Nairobi, what's the name of that area in Nairobi? You see beautiful houses. Or if you go to Ghana, there's a place in Ghana, I think it's Airport City. I went there. You see that Cameroon, the agriculture, the real estate is still at the bare minimum, right? And that's what I was telling one of my mentees who is a real estate that don't be in a hurry. Real estate is a long game. Don't be in a hurry. Real estate is a very long game and it has a very beautiful future. But you need to play the game right. You need to know your onions, know your stuff, right? And one of the most important fundamentals in marketing a real estate business is relationships. You need to be a master in building relationships. It's one of the number one marketing strategies for real estate business owners. Relationships. Because buying a house or a land is not like buying a shoe. That is hundreds of thousands or even millions. So for somebody needs to trust you, know you, before they give you money. A real estate purchase go through my 4-step process of sales. For somebody to buy land from you in real estate, they need to know you, they need to like you, they need to observe you, they need to trust you before they give you money. 5-step process. That's why building relationships and positioning yourself as an expert who knows what he or she is doing is very important. Doing real estate is beyond go snapping lands. That's what I see most people doing. Go snapping lands and then posting on Facebook. And yeah, that's general noise. Trust me. How many people buy from that stuff? Like me, I can see what you're doing. I should go buy from somebody I trust. That's a fact. You get the concept. So you see, relationships and positioning yourself as somebody that somebody can go through to get a land or buy a house without losing their money is a very important marketing strategy in real estate. Networking, what do I mean? You start going to places where people who have money to buy lands and houses meet them, establish relationships, and you're good to go. You start from there. There are some people that will talk to you for 1 year before they can trust you to buy a land through you or to ask you build their house, if that's part of the service that you offer as a real estate expert, right? Yeah, but real estate is good. If you are starting in real estate, one of the things I tell people who are starting there is spend time to know the sector. Spend time to be an expert in the sector. It's very important for you. Okay, good. Okay, let me review the next book. From CPO to CEO. From CPO to CEO. This is the 5th book that I am reviewing out of my 6 books that I recently published globally. And people have been ordering the copies from across the sector, across different countries, right? So this book, from Chief Procrastination Officer to Chief Execution Officer. From Chief Procrastination Officer to Chief Execution Officer. If you are that person that procrastination is destroying your destiny, you are that kind of person that you keep, I am planning to, I was thinking of, I'm thinking of. You always procrastinate tasks. You procrastinate important things that you need to do so that they can change your life. You need to get this book, and it will teach you a step-by-step process on how to move from a chief procrastination officer to a chief execution officer, right? Good. So this book is a 10 chapter book. Yes, 10 chapter book. And in these chapters, you will see a step-by-step process on how to go through to actually stop procrastinating and start executing. If you are in business, one of the most important things that you must conquer is procrastination. Procrastination can destroy your business. Trust me. You need to learn how to conquer procrastination. Somebody is asking, you have answered my question by saying real estate is good. No, I did not answer your question. I answered that man's question. I don't know you. I don't know you are good and all of that, right? I did not answer your question, Ibrahim. Don't get me wrong, right? Real estate is good. Generally, it's good for everybody. Agriculture is good. Every other sector is good. Every sector in the world is good. Even book publishing is good, right? Just master your game. Every sector is good. But if you don't master the game of that sector, you will never succeed in that sector. Business is skills. Business is relevant skills. The bedrock of anybody making it in business, they know something they don't know in terms of skills, equipment, tools, resources, the economy, dynamics, and all of these things, right? Good. I would like to order all the books. Please, You're in South Africa, right, Mr. Sama? You can get the books on Amazon's. Amazon deliver in South Africa, right? Yeah, I think so. So you can order on Amazon and they'll ship it to you directly. Okay? It'll be faster than me struggling, faster and cheaper than me shipping to you from Cameroon or from elsewhere. So go on Amazon and order it and they will ship it to you in South Africa, right? Good. Very possible. No stress. In less than no time, you'll get the book in few days. All right. So, any other question for me? This last book is actually one of my favorite. All are my favorite, but I like this because of the concept. Business lessons from drug cartel lords. Business lessons from drug cartel lords, right? Now, I started having interest in how drug gangs, gangs that sell, drug gangs, especially South American drug gangs and all of that. So I started watching documentaries and reading books because I started noticing that drug cartel lords run very efficient businesses. They run very efficient business. So I started studying their system. These guys, how they run very profitable businesses, but yet they do their business in hiding. They are running from law enforcement officers, the police, the FBI, the CIA, Interpol, whatever they can think of. But yet, these guys are some of the richest people on earth. Drug cartel lords are some of the richest people on earth. It's just that Forbes cannot document them because they are illegal. But they do business because there's a product they buy and they sell. It could be cocaine, it could be marijuana, it could be whatever they buy and they sell. There's a product, there's exchange of value and there's exchange of money, right? So this book have created a lot of interest across business leaders across the world because business lessons from drug cartel lords, what is inside, right? It took me time to document this book and I was able to bring out 17 lessons that entrepreneurs can learn. How is it possible that somebody who is into the business of buying and selling cocaine in hiding, and the police is always looking for these people, but yet they make money, but yet their logistics is efficient, but yet their structures, they have teams, they move products between countries, they move money on the ground. How are they able to still be that efficient and profitable even in hiding? How come? So I started asking this question and I started reading books and I started watching documentaries on, if you go on Netflix, you will see a lot of documentaries on drug cartel lords, especially in South America and all of that. Started doing that and started bringing out some lessons and relating them to business and all of that. So this book documents 17 business lessons that entrepreneurs can learn from drug cartel lords, right? And I'm super excited about the book because the concept is crazy and it's fun. And somebody said, what? I didn't know some of these concepts, right? So it's also amazing. Like chapter 8 talks about drug cartel lords are logically driven with the highest level of emotional intelligence. How can an entrepreneur be logically driven but at the same time having the highest level of emotional intelligence when it comes to business? And we need that. Entrepreneurship is crazy, business is crazy, or running any institution is crazy. Trust me, it's crazy. But there are certain things that when you understand and you can begin to maneuver them, it can help you to actually move your institution, your company to the next level. So that is the concept behind this book, Business Lessons from Drug Cartel Lords. And people have ordered this book from Amazon in the UK, in the US. They have given me crazy feedback that, whoa, I have learned some crazy stuff about business concepts and structures that I was not taking it for granted, right? Because I believe that the way that drug cartel lords are able to succeed in business and make millions of dollars and billions of dollars, meanwhile they're illegal and they're always on the run. What about us who are legal and we're not running from anything? We should be able to make more money like them. even better, right? Yeah, so we can tap some stuff, their mindset, their attitude, their strategies, their logistics, their structures, and any of these things, and begin to do that. So I went through the pains for months and months and months to bring out 17 lessons that we can learn and execute as business leaders from drug cartel lords. It's the same like gang leaders, armed robbers, the gang leaders. There are some armed robbers that they will rob for 20 years and nobody's catching them. What keeps them in business for 20 years? There are some families that being gang leaders is transferred from generation to generation. How do they do that? They have mastered good succession planning better than some of us who are legal in business. Right? So this book will uncover you to crazy ideas and strategies that we can learn from gang leaders and drug cartel lords and make some money for our legal businesses. Okay? All right. So I have taken out time to review all my recently published 6 books, and you can get copies on Amazon. And for those who are in Cameroon, copies will be shipped to Cameroon very, very soon. Working on that. And most of these books, before printing them on paperback, I did a silent pre-launch. Like this book, this one had the highest. I did 1,000 sales in this pre-launch ebook format. And sometimes I like to do a pre-launch silently in my quiet communities so that I can get validation. People read and give me feedback of what they think, and I got incredible feedback from business leaders across the world about this book. So I can bet you that if you're spending some money on these books, it's one of the best things that you can do for yourself, your career, and your business. All right. I hardly do Facebook Live because of crazy schedule and traveling and all of that, but I'm happy I did it today after a while. I think after like almost a year. I think I may get to jump on other people's live show, but I hardly just do mine. Questions? I can take last questions. Business, career, international career, you can ask. I think I have some few lessons to chip in. You want to build an international career. Been able to move 20 countries to do this thing that I do, so maybe I can share some tips if you want to know more. Thank you so much for joining, and we stay in touch. God bless you. Cheers.